and then we'll wrap up. If you like tonight's episode, please type yes in chat. I hope you got a lot of value from it. My biggest thing is I wanted to just make sure that I'm giving us everything that we need to be able to invest in any market, regardless of what happens. Because and here's the thing that I also want to mention too: it's not up to anyone else to make us rich or wealthy. It's up to us to do that. So I know there's a lot of talk about like, what if corporations do XYZ? The responsibility of a corporation is to take care of that corporation or the families they are protecting inside of that corporation. That's it. So we talked about, on kudos to you, on the stock club call, we talked about Activision. So I'm look this real quick. So I want to actually go through more charts. For those of you on YouTube, what up? I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. It's the direction. If we're looking at the 5-year month of Activision Blizzard, up or down, this line right here is a 200-day moving average. Is an aggregate, is it up or down? You guys give me about 10 minutes and I'll take questions, because I want to dive through a bunch of stocks tonight. So let's go Adobe and look at this real quick. Is Adobe up or down? Put in chat, up or down. There's only one direction. That's true direction. And then if it drops to this level, great. Go month, week, then day, as we talked about on Market Mondays. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's look at Alexion real quick. Alexion Pharmaceuticals. Is Alexion up or down? If you are unsure, if you look at the 5-year month, go to 10 years. It gives you a better example. If you're still unsure, go to since inception or since the beginning, maximum available. Is the direction of Alexion Pharmaceuticals up or down? Please put in chat. There is only one true direction. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's look at line. Let's look at Alignment Healthcare. Go do your research and see why it popped. I don't like this one. Just telling you. But I want to go through them. Amazon, we've talked about before, but let's look at it real quick. Amazon, let's look at 5-year month. Is the direction of Amazon up or down? So once you start to go through these, so let's look at analog. And this is how I end up doing my research. So 5-year month, if it's inconclusive, I'll go to the higher time frame, go max available. Now I can see it's choppier, but analog does gradually move to the upside. Type yes in chat if that makes sense to you. Right? We talked about Applied Materials earlier. AMAT is a ticker. Go 5-year month. That's the lens I'm always looking through. 5-year month is up. Great. Then I go to max available. Great. Applied Materials has been up. And then you can see we had a top here, back here in 99. Severe fall. And this is when we're talking about building the base from 2003 to 2014, the 10-year period. You can still build a base here. It takes a lot of balls and convictions to stick with a stock when it's doing this, right? And then it took off in 2015, and then look at the upside. Would it not have been worth it to hold from 2003 through, if you believe in the company? That's why I say, once you have a conviction in the company, even if I don't like it, if there's a thesis that you have, that you think it is worth something, you should hold on to it. ADP, please type in chat. What does ADP do? Yep, payroll systems. Legal Mafia, them, Striker. That's a few companies. POOL. Kudos to those in Stock Club that have that, right? Is ADP up or down? Okay, let's go look up Biogen. And the thing is, everybody should be seeing the same thing over and over again. Let's go to Broadcom. Is Broadcom up or down? Okay, great. Cerner. So when I go look at all of NASDAQ, or if I go do Russell 1000 or Dow 30, this is the process that I'm going through. I want to see what the number one. So I'll write this. Step number one, I want to see if there's an uptrend. Great. If there's a consistent uptrend, then I want to look to buy. For those of you that do basic support and resistance, you can see down here, this is support area and this is here. And then whatever indicators you use, you can then layer on. So let's say if I wanted to look at a weekly chart, I can see that the weekly level for the 200 period moving average, which is not the best moving average to use, but in this instance, 67.32 would be an area to buy. The high back here was 84. And if I'm looking to hold for a long-term period, I know over 60 months, it'll give me time. If I bought here, it has a good chance of going to 110, 120, 130, somewhere in that area. Okay. Let's look at, because it's easy to talk about Microsoft, Apple, AMD, Tesla. Let's look at Centus real quick. Let's go 5-year month. Is the direction of Centus up or down? Then if you're unsure, go to max available. It is a continuous uptrend. Let's compare it to GE or GE. Previous high was back here. Great company. They still have some good businesses inside of the infrastructure that they currently have, but overall, the stock has been down. Right. So this is a clear. Can we everyone agree here? This is a clear downtrend, right? Yes, it's been pushing up since last year. Most things did, but the overall trend is down. I don't like RSI. I don't like MACD. This for even those you in Dream Team and any of the programs, balance of market power was an indicator that I like for a long-term macro if I need a quick glance to see what the direction is. Let's go look at Costco. Great. Costco is on the upside. So when I'm doing my own research, this is literally what I'm looking at and how I'm going through. CSX Corporation, huge upside trend. Great. So we want, put it in chat. We want to buy stocks that are going up. If it's up, then it's stuck, right? And then we good. And then same thing, we'll go Intel. Intel has been pushing up. I don't like Intel over AMD or NVIDIA, or if I want to ETF, I'll do, SMH, but I like AMD. I mean, we've been at AMD for a long period of time. So let me take a couple questions, or you guys can type some stocks in and I'll go look at them for you because I think that'll be of more value. Thank you for mentioning Lam Research as well. What's the ticker for Lam Research? Real quick. Let me go look at LCRX real quick. SNDO. And then also too, when you guys are looking at investments to make, I want you to please write this down. I want you to look at least 10 hedge fund managers, not just one, because I'm seeing a lot of intellectual incest around what to invest in. And I love Kathy. But what if Kathy retires? Then what? Go look at the holdings of top 10 hedge fund managers based on returns. Because there are some hedge fund managers that people never mention. And I'm like, why? But if you are a student of the game, it helps a lot. And then you can see also when those hedge funds are also losing their edge. Like, did you know? Okay, I'll ask this question. Is Pershing Square, are you available to invest in that company? Either here or internationally? Second, especially for Stock Club, and I'll put this in, but everyone, I want you to find me one company in India. I want you to find me one company in Australia. And I want you to find me one company in the UK that is of tremendous value. And then when you go see the charts from last year, you're going to be pretty upset. You got to go study the international markets. CEMI, Chem Biodiagnostics. If we were looking at this, and let's say it's any company, and this is the max interval or since inception chart, is this up or down? It may be a good trade, but this is down. And it was 374 back in 2001, and it's at 564 now. I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. AI, down to the downside for right now. John Deere. Yeah, John Deere is another one of those companies, kind of like Sam Adams, that no one thinks about, but is of incredible value. Great. Are any of you currently, especially, well, I know Stock Club members are any of you invested in Microsoft or Apple? And are you surprised at the growth of it? DLR solid. I think Microsoft has not even hit close to its potential yet, which is crazy to say, but I don't think that they have. Nowhere near close. It is choppy here. So if I go put fibs on and I go high to low, and if you guys go replay, thank you guys for tuning in to Trading After Dark. You'll see multiple ways to get in. So you can use 72, you can use 200, you can use fibs. Shout out to the Dream Team and everybody in and alpha that have the perfect setup. So, okay, great. If we ever drop back to this level of 14, worst case scenario 27.77, that's a 50% value line. Dream team, I will tell you guys about what we talked about in Houston, but look how this 50% area is right on par with the 200-day moving average, right? So that's value investing in one form. And then another way, you want to be able to get it at the deepest prices. So 200-day moving averages is a classic way, but you want to buy things that are consistently staying above that 200-day moving average and that are not peering through it frequently. INND, same thing. It's penny stock, maybe a good trade. I wouldn't want to hold it for a long period of time. Let me look at GILT, GILT. Satellite networks. It's under the $10 range. It's a good trade. I wouldn't want to hold it long term. DocuSign, let's check it out. Let's go max available. You can see it's on the uptrend. Somewhere around this like 140 area would be decent. 100 would be amazing. Mara, we talked about this before. I know I'm going fast for some of you, but is going through these charts helping you? If so, put yes in chat so I can get perspective. Mara. Now, this is one of the ones where it's like fell for a long period of time at 35 cents or 40 cents. So even for those of you that are in penny stocks, you can make the argument that if the revenue is strong enough, you should hold for a longer period of time, because look at this liftoff. Even if you call it a 12 and went from 12 to 56, it doesn't matter what kind of trade you make. And you can see now it is above that 200-day moving average. The white candles are representative of the market moving up. And on a monthly horizon, that's pretty damn solid. I would not chase it now, but if you're in it, yes, I will hold if it were me. I'm not your advisor. Trading and investing has considerable risk. And I'm not just saying that facetiously. Be mindful of what you're doing, and please do your research. HYLN, don't love. Do not love. Laser. And here's the thing. You should be able to look at a chart. And if you go definitely 5-year month, you should be able to look in 10 seconds and tell if it's good. But since inception or max available, you should know right off top if it's good or not. FCEO. Is FCEO a good investment long term? YouTube and in Zoom, put yes or no. Everybody, and there are no two answers. It's either something is a good investment or not. It's not good, maybe a good trade. Now, if I zoom in from a trading perspective and I look at the 1 hour snipers, we can see this is a huge downtrend. And let's say if this is our EMA to fire here, but if the candle started off red here, we could have shorted potentially here and then rolled it down if we know what the average true range is of the day. If you don't know what the true range is, that's how many ticks in futures or how many dollars or cents that a stock will go down. But if we look back, you can see that it's continuously sliding down. AutoZone, AZO. So let's go look. 5-year month. Is the direction of AutoZone up or down? AZO is a good one. Buy great businesses. And AutoZone, as long as we have gasoline fueled cars, there's going to be a need for them. So Spark Energy, don't love it as much. VWO. What's the biggest lesson you learned from tonight's show? I'm interested in knowing. And okay, so I need to have a little confessional and question time. Would it help you guys if once a month we did Trading After Dark twice a week instead of once? Now, it doesn't mean I'm a promise to do it. And no, I don't know when I'll do it. I'll just do it randomly when I'm in good spirits and good mood. But if you guys want it, I'll consider doing twice a week. So if this is helping you. But so John Deere, you guys got to write this down. Stock Club, I'll give you guys a price. That is good. AutoZone, great. And then one of my favorites of all time is POL. And then Stock Club, I'm going to give you this homework assignment too. But I want you to go research why pool is so good. For those listening on YouTube, please go look why. JMA, or were you referring to JMIA? Jimmy, I don't love as much LMT. I won't play music, but I don't want YouTube to ban my account. I'm just growing. Thank you guys for supporting me and rocking. I appreciate this. CLWD. So cloud commerce. And look, now let's go look historically. Now, of course, what has happened in the past is not always indicative of what will happen in the future. But if this stock has been out since 2006 and it has not been above 25 cents for my traders, you can see the chart. And here's the crazy thing. For those of you that ever looked at the VIX future, doesn't this chart look like the VIX during peak boom and bust cycles? Right? So extreme peaks, if you're in it, you probably should have taken profit already. It's probably going to slide back to the 200-day moving average back here at a penny and a half with no problem. If you can get it at, I don't know, a penny flat, maybe. If you want to gamble and hold it for a year or two and hope that it pops up, but there is no case or thesis why you would want to hold this for a long time. Now, if you end up shorting it, or you have a case there, but there's no reason to really hold this for a long time. But if you go look at the VIX future, which is /VX on TD Ameritrade, you can see the same kind of boom and bust cycles, extreme peaks. And then we saw it here. And then we saw it, of course, in 2020 when VIX went up. And then if you go look at regular VIX, you can see the same. So, and this is my big tip. If you go study an asset since the beginning, you'll get all the clues that you need to. Because and I need you to know this, and I said it before when we did the interview with Josh and Mike Batnick and Ben. Technicals are just a representation visually of what the fundamentals of the business say. So notice, John Deere, if we go look at DE, great business. For those of you that ever bought any of their equipment, same thing. Let's go look at CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, the underlying asset, it's a good business, right? If we go look at Sam Adams, underrated, but very good business. For those of you that are in healthcare, Stryker, have a legal mafia on the beds and stuff. And these charts just tell you what institutions feel about the business, and on top of that, what the fundamentals are. You normally don't see a company with weak revenue have exceptional charting. Type yes in chat if that makes sense to you. I want to make sure I'm not going over your head. And then you only need 4 to 8, because if you're going to research a company endlessly, there's no way in hell you can do research on a bunch of companies and read every report that you need to get your edge. For my traders, yeah. So for those of you that feel like you suck at fundamentals, the thing that I've talked about it before, but I will look at revenue first. I will look at the founder. I will look at annual sales. I will look at growth over a 5-year period, but you're going to see the same correlations here. So even though last year was crazy and companies with no value were going up because it was a buying opportunity for a lot of funds and institutions, Louisiana Pacific, I want to give you credit, Alex. Well played. Well played. It's nice growth. This is nice growth. Went to 12, came up. It's nice growth. And then even if you look at balance and market power, and then Dream Team, if you want me to talk about this more in detail, just telegram me and I'll go over. But you can see that the buying pressure, of course, has been up, and they're at 59. But if we go since inception or since the very beginning, they've had a tumultuous, like, up and down relationship. But even after these hard cycles of crashing, they end up going up. But it's a riskier investment. But yeah, over the last 12 months, it's been pretty damn good. And not many people have talked to me about Louisiana Pacific, so kudos to you for that. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll wrap up. Digital Turbine. Okay, who put this? My guy. I'm gonna give you all credit for giving me FOMO. Why you show me this chart? This is a good one. Yeah, this one's giving me FOMO. This is a hell of a runner. And so that's what I'll tell you. Behavioral finance is very interesting because you'll know everything, but I'll see this chart and I'll be like, okay, great. It was at 597. It went to 102. And even though you can get the same kind of gain in futures, right? It's still tough to see that kind of gain on a long-term investment. So, can we talk futures? Yes. I'll take one question, then we'll wrap up. We'll probably do the scan later this week. Since Market Mondays ran over. Let me take one question and then we'll wrap. I appreciate you guys being here. Mac, I'll take you, and then
How you and Zender doing, my guy?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. The question that I have, when you're doing swing trading, do you put a stop loss or you just let it ride naked?
It is better to put a stop loss in if your win percentage is under 80%, if you're above 80%, if you only take one swing trade max per week. Ideally, like 2 per month is a sweet spot. But if you're above 80%, you are better off. Well, I mean, it's a lot of people listening. So for safety purposes, I'll say yes, use the stop loss.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. What future, or are you referring to futures?
Yeah, futures.
Okay. What asset would you be looking to swing trade on?
No, I was give it a try since I'm doing sim for the sniper program.
Yeah. So you're looking at NASDAQ?
Yes.
I'll practice 30 times having 100 ticks stop loss and going for 1,000 ticks.
Gotcha.
And then calculate if you hit that 4 times in a year or 5 times in a year. And I don't think everybody should trade futures. So for those of you watching the replay, I'm not trying to entice anybody to do it because it takes a lot of damn work to be good. And then after you do all this work, I'm going to tell you to take fewer trades. But if you guys can, so for those in the program, I'll give you the parameters for it and all that. But yeah, 1,000 tick target would be pretty damn sweet. Homework assignment for snipers. I want you to go over the last 2 years on a daily chart, and from top to bottom and bottom to top, I want you to write out how many times NASDAQ has hit 1,000 ticks. I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be very surprised. Let me see, and I'll take one more. We'll wrap up. We'll do Mike, KB. I'll come to Pat.
Yo, what's up? Man,
and Ken, if you up late tonight, I'll call you like at midnight my time after I had this meeting. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling wonderful, especially after that call with EYL.
Yeah, 19 keys, he killed it.
Look, bro, I don't even know where to start at because I'm like, man, I've been talking about this for the past couple of years, and what's crazy is I just posted the hologram stuff on my Instagram like earlier this morning, not knowing that they about to talk about it, and I'm like, bro, they've been doing this. Even with Microsoft, when they got the actual table, remember? I don't know.
Back in the day, yeah. Of course, man.
I've been waiting for that to drop. And when they talk about they dropping the servers and they come out with these tablets, I'm like, that ain't what
I'm like, what are you doing with a table? I know. I'm like,
I realized that you could purchase the table, but the table costs like 15, 20,000.
Yeah,
like,
so it's a lot.
I can't grab it right now. So, but I've been grabbing.
And for that software, I'm like, not as sexy.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
So, but the thing is, even with that, I want to say only you have to believe in your thesis.
Of course.
And I try and poke holes in my 2 index, 2 tech. And if interest rates gets above like 5.25% or 6%, it'll degrade some. But no one believed in the 2 index. Even now, people are like, man, I want Apple, Microsoft. And then it's like, but when you see all the future technology that they have, it's a game changer. But how can I help? Because I got 3 minutes and I got to take this meeting.
Hold on. I got man, I want to say. Okay, so I have this company BLD. And then another one, do you think that SWPPX, and then is one more I'm about to send to you right now.
SWPPX, yes. That's a swab index, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 500. Yeah, that's a home run. BLD is nice, though. I need to do some more research on them, but the chart looks absolutely amazing.
And I just sent you one that was a penny stock.
Tell me which one it is.
It is NSRGY.
NSRGY?
Yeah.
It's not a penny if it's in the hundreds.
I know. I'm saying though, no, it's in the OTC market.
Oh, okay, got you. I
So,
would make it if you want to trade it, you can trade it. I
okay.
wouldn't. Yeah,
My whole
like
thing
long
is
term holding out. Yeah, I wouldn't want to touch that if it's in the. Yeah. So, but BOD,
okay. Yeah.
that's amazing. Yes, and any of the swap, the ones that are mirroring the S&P 500. And put in really quick before we wrap up. Are you guys shocked the S&P 500 and Dow are doing so damn well? Be
No.
honest.
I'm
I appreciate
surprised
you
Dow.
saying that. Like no one should, but if you go look at the history, let's just go look at DIA and go to max
QE.
available. Yes,
That's it. QE pushed it up.
it helps. And then also, if you go look at the holdings inside of when everyone was going to value, I'm like, if you already have indexes or ETFs that mirror the top two, you're going to be fine. And then if you go look and see here during this period down here, this in 2015. If you go look at balance of market power, the balance of market power has not been red since then. It's been all upside since 2016. Like just continue to hold quality. Investing is not that hard. Everyone type in chat. Investing is not hard if you hold on to quality. With all the reading and all it's to reinforce for you to stay and stick with the plan. If you go look at investment books from the 1930s, the same issue was there. 1920s, same thing was there. So, but yeah, I got to run to this meeting. I love you guys so much. I would do another trade after dark this week to make up for the shortness of it because I know we normally go like 2 hours. But if you got some value out of this, please put yes in chat, and then also type in the top lesson you learned tonight here and trading after dark, and then I'll be happy to do another one. And I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are absolutely amazing. My job is to go through 6,000 charts this year. I know I go fast for some of you, but if you go replay, I think you'll get some amazing gems. It took me years to learn. So I love you guys. You're absolutely amazing. Red Panda family, let me get some pandas in chat. I love y'all dearly. That mean the world to me. And thank you for all of you who shouted my mom out. Her birthday is on April 8th. So Q, I love you.
Ian.
I appreciate you. Yes.
Sorry, one last question. So, I heard you say that we should trade the London Open. Was that for all the indexes or just for ZB?
That's for all of them.
All right, cool. All right, thank you.
There is, and I'm glad you squeezed the question in. You have a considerable edge if you trade the London. Now it's going to take longer to hit your target, but you're going to have a lot less work. A lot less work, a lot less competition. So you won't be going against some of the top prop firms and prop traders and top hedge funds. Like you have less competition. So it's kind of like if you play in the league and you go back and play a college team, it's going to be a little bit easier than if you're going against LeBron and AD or the Nets now, since they buying up the entire league. So, but that's it. I love you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. And then for those of you that if you didn't get the link, after I get out this meeting, I'll be sending the link, and we'll be good. But I love you guys dearly. Be great. Continue to love each other. Push to be your best because everything that you already have inside you, and just be fearless. And I wasn't always this big on work ethic. My mom, if you listen to replay, she'll tell you like at one point my ass was lazy. So that's why when I finally caught my wind and my groove, for those of you who feel like you're not being respected or people don't believe in you or your work or what you're trying to do, only you have to believe in you. Family won't believe in you. Sometimes friends won't believe, but if you make them believers by putting in the work, everything will go smooth. All you need is you. And I said it this morning, but once you stop looking for outward acceptance, you will have a lot more inner peace and you'll walk to the beat of your own drum. A lot of times we want other people to validate our ideas, to validate us. You're already motherfucking amazing. You don't need no one else's validation. God made you. That's all you need. Love you. Over now. And I'm not preaching to you. I'm just being real. You have everything that you need.